Yeah, before we came down here, you spoke about how, as an athlete, there's lots of expectations.
Yeah.
And one, you're an athlete, one, you're an educator, one, you're a role model. Could you tell us, by your own definition, who you would define the real athlete Joshua is at the core?
At the core?
Yeah.
That's a good question. After all these years of the questions I've had, I still can't figure out a direct answer. So it's subject to change, yeah? Because different times of people's lives, they go through things that change them. But right now, if I'm honest, it's about the money.
Look at all them goobers clapping, and this really shows you where society is at, yeah? You got this big burly Don, this big buff Nick, posted up, who's supposed to be a boxer. We've seen, look at all the greats. I'm not someone who's massively nostalgic or someone who's massively sucker-offish. Yeah, there's certain cats who have to suck history off, but I'm just calling a spade a spade. We've seen people like Mike Tyson and Lennox Lewis and Ali talk about the history of the sport and how much it means to them and how they're involved. Honestly, I've never really seen an interview from Lennox Lewis at the peak of his career talking about how money. You just don't really. It almost used to be cringy in the past, and rightfully so. Really, it was Mayweather who prolificized the whole. Oh man, my fights are boring, but I got the bag. Mayweather had to prolificize, make it prolific, the money side of things, because he ain't got nothing else to sell. Yes, he can sell the part of things. Oh, I'm pretty good at playing touch butt in the park with Ido Portal. But in terms of why people buy a fight, people don't. Yeah, again, it'll be Floyd Mayweather man fans who try to convince you that people tune in to watch people fanning around. No, the most part, people want to see someone's block knocked off. If you can, the more skillfully you can knock someone's block off, the better. But let's not get it twisted here. Floyd had to bring in other things, because he's boring in the ring. It's a fact. Boring, super duper boring. And to be honest, if it wasn't, the only reason Floyd got to where he was because of the hate. And the hate was derived a lot from a little small 5-foot Nick being mouthy. Yeah, because we know white folks can't stand little mouthy Nicks, and arguably rightfully so. That's what Floyd, that's the honest truth, God's honest truth. Everyone tuned into that. Floyd Mayweather played the whole race relations in the US pretty well, and 9 times out of 10, it was people tuning in, hoping he'd get his wig pushed back. Fair play to the guy, but let's not get it twisted here. As far as substance goes, Floyd was boring in the ring. And him coming along with the money thing. Now AJ, in his prime, he had the ability at one point to go down as certainly a top 5 all-time heavyweight, in my opinion. But unfortunately, he chose to go down the whole Mayweather route, i.e. no substance, little to no substance in the ring, and talk about money outside the ring. The difference is, Floyd actually backed it up. At least, yeah, Floyd might bore everyone to tears, but at least he'd win. You're boring everyone to tears and you're losing against dudes half your size. Like, okay, wow. Not to mention the things I've made several times, the points I've made several times, on the basis that Floyd, he wasn't hugely explosive. Floyd, pound for pound, is not as explosive as AJ. AJ isn't long and lanky, and to be honest, as a heavyweight, Tyson Fury's proven, even if you are long and lanky, with the right application, you've got no excuse to be playing touch butt in the park and fanning around. And it all comes down to mindset. I'm sorry, I can't wait to hear what the AJ Man fans have got to say about this one. This was despicable to listen to. Don't forget, people, he's still telling us he's in the prime of his career. He's not told us yet, categorically, and that's why there's a lot of you Man fans still around. Oh, YB, you're a hater. I'm not a hater. Listen to the guy. How can you support this? He's taking your pay-per-view money. Meanwhile, he's got no intentions of really getting stuck in. The man's just lost, and he's telling you his life right now is all about money. What? He just lost. Your life right now should be, listen man, I'm on revenge. This guy getting it. I'd do it for free. Yeah, I'd pay him. That's back in the day, yeah. Back in the 90s and back in the 80s. As a man, yeah. I'm not saying I'm really old, but I just remember when I was growing up in school or whatever, there was this vibe that you'd pay to get back. Do you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it felt... men had this kind of pride where, never mind being paid to get your get back. If you took an L, yeah, you'd be desperate to get it back. You'd pay for the privilege. AJ right now, he ain't even revenge, get back. He just, I'm getting paid. Oh, it's about the money. Not bothered about winning. Not bothered. Get back. He hasn't even in this whole interview. He don't even mention get back. He just talk about money and crypto and NFTs. Sounding like all the other goobers who ain't got a clue what they're talking about. Here are a few buzzwords. All edgy buzzwords. All finance, crypto, NFT. It's embarrassing. Just because dudes have some money and they, wait there a minute, I've got some money. I've heard some buzzwords. Oh yeah, NFT. Let me put it in there, crypto. Goofy having ass dudes. Super embarrassing. And it really is. All my hope, or any hope I had, is shot, man. I've been telling you this anyway, but listen to the guy. Oh, honestly, I actually want to hear from AJ Man fans. Explain this one. Oh, but YB, boxing's a short career and he's got... No, I ain't trying to hear that. AJ's financially made. He can make 4, 5, probably 10 million a year in risk-free interest. I ain't trying to hear that's $1 million a month. I ain't trying to hear about how he needs to secure his future. That's a line Eddie Hearn pumps out to excuse his fighters not doing nothing in the ring and expecting big paydays. Oh well, YB, AJ can't get stuck in the ring because boxing's only a short career and he's got to have longevity. Oh YB, AJ can't get stuck in the ring because boxing's dangerous and he put himself at risk. What the fuck? And that's what I don't get. You've got racing drivers. Actually, I use this analogy more and more often, but it's true. I said the other day that you don't ever see all of the top guys in F1, especially the top rivalries like Hamilton and Max and whatever else. You don't see them guys sucking each other off. You just don't. They can't stand each other, and rightfully so. That's how I understood things. Growing up as a man, I understood things. That's how I used to operate. Obviously, I'm not at their level, but that's how it should be. You shouldn't be sucking off one of your ops. That used to be standard. Look, historically, all the great leaders, seldomly do they suck each other off. Yeah? Show me where you saw Genghis Khan rolling around trying to blow all of his opposition off. Yeah? AJ come along, big buff Nick, try and suck everyone off. Try to suck Usyk off. Usyk, here's my belts. Mr. Blobby, here's my belts. Mr. Blobby, can we take a photo? It pissed me off. And as I was saying about F1, not only do they maintain the masculine oppositional relationships, also, in terms of risk, they're taking as much risk as boxers. And the way they approach it, you don't see... Boxers, for example, are excused these days. Oh, but it's dangerous, YB. AJ needs longevity. Well, if that's the case, why don't we see F1 drivers bottling it on every fast corner? You don't. F1 drivers, the best F1 drivers, throw themselves in, push the car to the limits on every corner. 70 times a corner. Any one of which can be the end of their career. Yeah? Their arse don't flap though. They crack on with it. They understand that's what they've signed up to do. And they're being paid handsomely to do it. They want to win more than anything. But yet in boxing, which is supposed to be the most masculine sport, these dudes are soft. All we hear about, even Tyson Fury to some extent these days. Oh, I've got to retire in the prime of my career because, I don't want to take no more headshots. You haven't even been taking any headshots. Not being funny, look historically, back in the 90s, yeah, where there was tough and deep competition. Dudes were getting in there and squabbling it up. Fury literally, there's bums around right now. Fury literally didn't take one punch in Dillian White fight. Let's say Dillian White's a top 5 heavyweight, yeah? Tyson Fury went in there with a top 5 heavyweight and didn't take one shot. And he's got to retire in the prime of his career because of his health. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to hear that. Especially when people like to throw around, YB, Tyson Fury's the best heavyweight in history. Well, I hate to break it to you, the best heavyweights in history didn't bottle it for other reasons in the prime of their career. No, they cracked on and pushed on to true greatness. True greatness isn't, like I said, we have to compare. If we're going to talk about historical levels, we have to compare historical levels with historical levels. What made a lot of the greats great was the fact that they didn't know when to say enough. And I'm not saying I advise that, but show me where you saw a great quitting at the absolute peak of their career. You don't see it. They were too busy pushing on and really trying to cement their legacy. Now obviously if I start seeing declines in Tyson Fury, I'll be the first one to say, yeah man, You've had enough now. But we ain't seen no declines. You're on top. So don't tell me you're the greatest ever, but then your ass is gone. When it really started heating up. Now's the time. You're at the peak of your career. Now it's getting hot. You weren't hot for the first 10 years of your career. Let's be honest now. Tyson Fury was not hot for the first 10 years of his career. He's been hot for about 2 years, and he quitting now. It's weird. Super weird. But again, it comes down to the whole feminine energy in boxing right now. Look at Hamilton. Again, Hamilton is 38-year-old. He ain't 33 like Tyson Fury. And still Hamilton, and yeah, his car ain't great this year. And even to be honest, one of the young bucks has come up. George Russell and whatever. But the point is, Hamilton, he's still in there trying to squabble it up with the best of them. Yeah, throwing himself into the corners. So don't tell me a man, if Hamilton can do it at 38, even Schumacher came back and it ended in tears. But still, that's what I consider to be great. Yeah, people who put the sport first, not selfish things. Especially when the sport has given you everything. And this cat here, Johnston, no shame. And that's why I tell you, no one buy anything from Johnston. He just told you what he's about. He's about delivering no value to the fans and just milking you for whatever he can. No shame. And all the goobers in the crowd. Yeah? What was the clap about? What?
It's about the money.
Look at this goober having ass Nick here. Yeah? Preppy Oxford gooberzoid. What are they clapping about? You got the supposed to be the baddest man in the world telling you his whole character right now is based about the money. After he just got his shit pushed in by a dude half his size in his home court. Where are they doing that at? Again, I'm not from the hood yet, but as growing up as a child, the male influences, the whole vibe of being a man, yeah, it's one thing taking an L, it's another thing taking an L in your backyard. That's just a no-no. You best get your get back. That's what you best be doing. Never mind the money, never mind anything else. You best restore your shit. Do you know what I'm saying? No, I don't know. You tell me. But these days, it's kind of like, oh well, YB. Yeah, if someone pushes your shit in, you take. You know what I mean? You wipe yourself off and offer yourself up again. 100%. What's that, YB? No, it's 2022, YB. If Usyk pushes your shit in, you clean yourself off and offer up your booty one more time. That's what Johnson says. Yeah. Got your back blown out. My character's about the money. Yeah, I've been known that. That's why I've been jumped off your bandwagon. Oh, YB's a big hater. No, AJ a hater. AJ hates the sport. Because I've told you, someone who feels the way he does, if he cared anything about the sport, if he cared anything about anyone else apart from himself, and that's the problem with this day and age as well, everyone is so self-centered. All they care about is themselves, no matter what. And it's in the whole system, it encourages that. Oh, yes, all about the self. No one think about anyone else. All about me. Oh, me and mine. Because if he did care about anything else, he'd be saying, you know what, man, I've had a great run. I've made unbelievable amount of money, but I know I'm finished. Because I'm in an interview right now telling people my character is all about the bag. What the fuck? Your character. Of all the things that AJ mate should be thinking of now, I tell honestly, money should be one of the last things. We know he's made a whole bunch of money. I wouldn't mind you, fair enough. Let's say AJ, it was rumoured that AJ went broke. AJ fell off and all of his investments went wrong and he lost it all. I'd get that. You know what, AJ trying to bounce back after financial turmoil. No, your finances are rocketing, no doubt, better than ever, because you keep robbing the bank and doing nothing, delivering no value back to the fans. So that's not the problem. The headline issue in AJ's career right now is that he loved to lose. And he's telling us his character is focused on money. What the... I need some of you goober AJ fans to explain to me what planet he's on. Well, I know what planet he's on. He's on the planet of 2022, which is get the bag, essentially rob whatever you can. Look on Instagram, all the scammers. There's no substance anymore. No one wants to really deliver value. People want to nick and steal and do whatever they can to get ahead. There's no real people around these days who want to do a fair exchange. It's all about get as much as you can for doing the bare bones minimum. If you can get something for nothing, take it. It's shocking. Right now, as I've been saying, AJ should have been said, you know what guys, I had a great run, I just ain't got it in me no more. All I'm focused on is the money. I don't even care the fact that I've lost. I've got no intentions of winning, or the best I can do for you is go in there and have a sparring session. That's what he should be said. And to be honest, as a man, he should know himself, wait there a minute. 10 years ago, I never would have said. Even 5 years ago, when AJ was on top, I actually remember him saying that he found talking about money cringy. Honestly, back in 2017, 2018, yeah, you never heard AJ talk money. He actually would almost feel awkward about it. Oh, I'm not here for the money, I'm here to be greatness. You don't even hear him mention greatness anymore. You don't, honestly. This whole interview, money this, money that, money, oh, crypto, oh, NFTs. Listen.
Money's an interesting subject. It's a topic that doesn't get spoken about a lot, but it's one that makes the world go round. One of the biggest things to shake up the financial industry is crypto, right?
Oh my God.
So, you can see how much of an impact finances has on our life. And
there we go. Yeah? These goobers with a lot of money these days, they hear buzzwords and just throw it in there. Oh, money's really important, right? It makes the money go round. Wow. Money makes the world go round. What are we doing here, people? Supposed to be the baddest man on the planet. Talking about money makes the world go round. And crypto, oh, Bitcoin. That's what he just did. He just threw in there Bitcoin. What's that doing? And you can tell the way he's speaking, he ain't got a clue what he's talking about. And to be honest, he shouldn't have a clue what he's talking about. He's not a financier. You're supposed to be the baddest man on the planet. And you're sitting there talking about how your character is defined by money right now. And how Bitcoin make the world go round. What a goober. Honestly. And it says it all about the times we live in. And it's a shame that of all the sports, this disease could have come to. It really is a shame that it seems to be boxing's where it's all based in. Other sports are bad, but you know what I'm saying? Most other sports, they're obviously not as good as they were originally. Even football and things. But even in football, a decent amount of the time, people want to win. Yeah, there's a few teams who fall off or whatever, but do you know what I'm saying? The bulk of things, at the top level, people are desperate to win. These days, everyone worried about everything else but the sport in boxing. Conor Benn versus Uwank. Nothing to do with the sport. All about trying to milk some more money. For doing something again. Getting something for nothing. AJ versus Usyk. He ain't focused about the fight. He talk about the money. Fury versus whoever. Oh, I want 500 million. And it's really cringe. Honestly, it's super cringe. And I swear down. I'm just looking to get out of this game, man. This game's dead now. It's dead. There's nothing. No, there's no genuine. I remember a few years ago, when I was essentially Team AJ, it felt like it was something. Do you know what I'm saying? Something to do with the sport. Now, anyone on AJ's bandwagon, listen to the guy. He ain't into it. He don't even talk about the sport. He trying to talk about Bitcoin. He trying to talk about crypto. What the fuck? What the? I don't get it. Explain. You took a massive L and you're on the Oxford Union talking about, and to be honest, even the fact he's even at the Oxford Union says all you need to know. AJ's always had this weird, he always trying to be part of the club, be friendly with everyone. Ooh, I want to be part of the aristocracy. Ooh, let me go to Oxford Union and sit there with people who 10 years ago wouldn't have looked at you twice. 10 years ago, them man there would have spat on you. That's a fact. Yeah, 10 years ago, them man there, the Oxford Union, would have looked at you twice, and a security guard would have followed you around. That's what happened, facts. But now, because you're socially elevated, all of a sudden you've got all these new yuppie friends. It's classic. See it all the time. But it's embarrassing, because AJ's supposed to be super smart, but he don't. He can't read the room. Do you understand? Oh, I've got all the YB, what are you talking about? I've got all these new, you know what I mean? Got all these new aristocratic friends. Oh, nah, YB, you're wrong. Yeah, they're my real friends. Come on now. If you was in Watford, do you think you'd be on Oxford Union? People clapping and sucking you off and laughing. Oh, yes, AJ, money, AJ. They should have told you. What do you mean money? You just got your shit pushed in by Usyk. Money? Why are we talking about money for? Tell us how down bad you feel. Tell us how you ain't been able to sleep because you're desperate to clap some cheeks. Yeah? Tell us about he's the only man for you, not Fernando. Guess what? You can put this interview on. You ain't hear none of that. We hear about crypto though. We hear about real estate. Anyway, man, I'm done with this guy. I really do pray that Usyk has some sort of an epiphany and goes in there and takes out whatever frustration he has on AJ. I want to see AJ out cold, not slumped. I want to see him proper cold. That's what he deserves, 100%.